Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to even more Lorcana deck testing with your boy, TheXploder. Today we're back on Dreamborn. I've made another deck, and that budget is a big one, because I have made the deck known as Sapphire Steel Flood Force. Now, Sapphire Steel has fallen quite a bit off of the meta tables, at least at the moment, with doing the recording for this video. But I really like how this deck plays. It uses some inspiration that I've seen from some Sapphire Steel meta decks that I have seen being played at major tournaments since Shimmering Skies has come out. And using that inspiration, I have made this deck. And I think it's at a really good place. So let's get over it. Or go over it, I should say. Bloody hell, my language. I apologise. Starting off, Tipo. Tipo is insane. Tipo is the actual Chad of Sapphire right now. 2 cost, 1/2 for 1 lore. Measure me again. When you play this character, you may put a card from your hand into your inkwell, face down exerted. It's a 2-drop Fishbone. A 2-drop Fishbone. And in a deck like this, where we're mostly running the top ends, Tipo's great. Tipo's absolutely great. And then if you Tipo into enough inks, the next turn you can Fishbone, there's your ramp. Your ramp is nuts. We got Mr. Smee for some great early game aggro and threat plays, and if we need to, get rid of something, because he does have free attack on board. Fantastic. First Floodborn character we have in the deck is Aladdin Brave Rescuer, 3-drop 3/3. Beautiful stat spread. Absolutely beautiful. And the main reason why we're running 3 copies of him, item removal. Item removal is borderline essential for this meta, just in case there's still some crazy uses for the Ruby Sapphire item control deck out there. And so we want to be able to control the board our way. Best way of doing that, get some item removal. That's with Aladdin. We do have other item removal in the deck, but Aladdin's our first. 4 copies of the new Pete Games Referee. I was originally running this at 3, but I thought, screw it, let's run it at 4, give it a try, and now I cannot stop playing this at 4. Amazing stat spread, stops your opponent from playing actions until the start of your next turn. Great shutdown. Amazing shutdown. Play this whenever you need to basically tell your opponent big no, and it's great. It's a fantastic card. 4 copies of Flavisham, because yes, we are not running all the items known to mankind, but we're running enough to demand using Flavisham and his card draw potential. And one of the main playmakers of the deck, 4 copies of Chief Bogo, Respected Officer. 4 cost, uninkable, 2/4 for 2 lore. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, deal 1 damage to each opposing character. And this is why it's called Flood Force. You want to get out your Chief Bogo, and then whenever you play your Aladdins or any of your other Floodborn characters, deal 1 damage to every character out on the board, get another Floodborns being played, control the board by doing dink damage here, there and everywhere. Your opponent's going to be very scared very quick. And it synergizes quite well with the 4 copies of Jafar Dreadnought to help us with card draw, to help us with getting rid of threats, and really nice stat block, is a Floodborn character, works out really nicely. Now for the 5 drops and onward, we are running 2 copies of all of these, because they are situational, depending on what situation we are in, and the decks we are going against. Starting off with Aurora, the Dreaming Guardian, gives everyone ward. Beautiful if you just want to have her as the only viable target for any pinpoint removal or pinpoint targeting abilities that may affect your board in any way. Cogsworth with Resist. Brilliant if your opponent's using, like Amber Steel Song for example, if they're using things like Grab Your Sword, Let the Storm Rage on, it just helps protect your board. As well as that, he also has ward on himself innately, so combine Cogsworth with Aurora, now your entire board has ward apart from Aurora herself, and they have Resist +1. Beautiful combo. Then we have the Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood. I was tempted to put in the 1-drop Robin Hood for an early game shift, but it wasn't too necessary. At least at the moment, there might still be a little bit of tweaking work needed for the deck, and feel free to change it if you so wish. But Robin Hood's great, get rid of a character, draw, and don't draw a card, there. But Robin Hood's great, get rid of a character, gain 2 lore, quest for 2, by himself, and if he does get banished, you get to draw a card. Brilliant work. Then we have 2 copies of Cusco. Cusco is not a Floodborn character, but he is really, really good. Being able to just play him and getting rid of an item or location and just immediately putting it into the inkwell, it's fantastic. Yes, it may help your opponent, but it gets rid of a pesky item, gets rid of a pesky location very easily. Heck, even if you have a fishbone quill out on your side of a board and no Flaversham, and you may need that little bit of ink for a little bit later on, great work. The resist +1 effect is also quite nice. You can combine it with Cogsworth, so now everything has resist +2, apart from Cogsworth, he'll just have resist +1. But it's handy for when you need it, and Kuzco's just great. I really enjoy him. We have 2 copies of Simba, Son of Mufasa. Brilliant stat spread. We then have 2 copies of Simba, Son of Mufasa. Great stat spread, 6 drop, 3/5 Floodborn. And when you play this character, you may banish an item or location. Again, item removal, location removal, it's great. It's handy for when we need to get rid of something really pesky. Instantly gets rid of a castle, instantly gets rid of a library. Beautiful card. And we have 2 copies of Tinkerbell Giant Fairy, because this is a beautiful part of the tech. If you have a Chief Bogo out on the board, and then play Tinkerbell, Chief Bogo will trigger first, dealing 1 damage to everyone, and then Tinkerbell will trigger, dealing 1 damage to everyone. Well, I say triggers first, but you get to decide when the triggers happen on your side of the board when it's your turn. So yeah, play that as you will. So now you're dealing 2 damage to everything on the board, and then Tinkerbell swing into something, deal 2 damage to something else. Fantastic to get rid of a bunch of pesky bits all at once. And that's for characters. For songs, we're running 10 of them, 4 copies of Let the Storm Rage On, damage, card draw, goes without saying, 4 copies of How Far I'll Go, ramp, card draw, goes without saying, 2 copies of Grab Your Sword, really clutch, really handy. We have a lot of 5-drop characters that can just sing this outright, and if you do need to play it outright, it's absolutely fine. 2 damage, every character on the board, gets over ward, brilliant card. Then for items, 4 copies of Popsicle, best 1-drop in the game when it comes to Sapphire and items, beautiful card. Same with Fortisphere, brilliant 1-drop, so now we have ways to just keep drawing cards if we just slap these out of the board. We can heal our characters if we need to, we can put Bodyguard on our characters if we need to, but 9 out of 10 times we're probably not going to worry about it, and we're mostly going to use them just for the card draw. And then 4 copies of Fishbone, so we can just keep ramping, keep up our inkwell, and keep our ink levels up high enough so we can do our big plays with our big boys. And that's the deck, in a nutshell. Let's see how it runs against Amber Steel Song, which is currently at the top of the meta as of the recording of this video, and go from there. Okay. First game against Amber Steel Song, we're going to do a couple of these and test things out. 2 copies of Storm is too much. We don't need that Simba, and I don't need that Jafar, and I don't need 2 T-Pos in my hand. I might keep 1 Storm just in case, because at least I have a turn 3 play. And we have Bogo and Fishbone, that's okay. And we have a 2-drop Smee just in case. Do I ink Robin Hood? If I do, that means... yeah, I think I'm going to have to. This early on, I think I'm just going to have to. I will play out Fortisphere, draw a card. Draw into Aladdin, perfect. We have a turn 3 play. Outside of Let the Storm Rage On. There's a Daisy, there's the Troublemaker. There is the Troublemaker. So I can T-Po, but I'm more tempted to do Smee, if anything else. So in this case, I'm not going to ink T-Po, because that's just stupid. I think what we do is we probably ink the Aladdin, because I'm not too worried about playing with Floodborns this early on, and we're going to play out the Smee. Play out the Smee, now I have a 3/3 in play, and I have a threat on the board that can get rid of Daisy, and match the early game aggro that Amber Steel is going to bring to the game. And then you just play a Smee of your own. Okay, never mind. It begins. It begins. And I get a Cogsworth. Nice. I'll take Coggy. Now this turn, I'm a little bit behind on the ramp because I opted to go with the Smee. There's another Simba. I'm going to actually ink the Simba, because Amber Steel Song doesn't run a lot of items, so I'm not too worried about the Simbas or the Aladdins. And what we're going to do is turn 3. Do we Fishbone or do we Storm? I'm actually going to Storm. We're going to let the Storm Rage on. We're going to hit Smee. So that Smee's on 2 damage. We're going to draw a card, draw into Kuzco. That's fine. And then we're going to quest with Smee, go up to 2, matching on the board. Smee takes 1 damage. And effectively, I'm leaving my opponent with a choice. Do they tackle Smee with Smee? Or do I just quest with Smee, go up to 6, but lose Smee at the end of their turn? I draw another T-Po. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. Now I have double T-Po. I can even do double T-Po this turn? That might actually be kind of clutch. There's Storm. Okay, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Quest for 6, play Storm, get rid of my Smee, and your Smee's gone as well. That's fine. That was absolutely fine. And I have Flaversham. Right. We have options. We have a lot of scary options here. I'm going to start off by inking Cusco, because he's way too out there at the moment. Do I... this is the hard part. I think I need to keep drawing cards. Yet again. Oh, better idea. I'm going to play Fishbone. I'm going to use Fishbone. And we'll ink. I don't need both T-Pos. I actually don't need both T-Pos. So I'm going to use one of the T-Pos in my inkwell. And then I'm going to play the other T-Po. And I'm going to put probably Cogsworth in the ink. Or maybe Bogo. No, we go Cogsworth. And now I'm set up for next turn. Next turn, I'm on 6 ink in comparison to my opponent's 3. And I can start doing some crazy plays. I can play Flaversham next turn, draw card. That's fine. You have literally wasted Then Along Came Zeus to get rid of a T-Po. What is this guy doing? What are you doing? There's a... Ooh, second Bogo. Interesting. Okay, second Bogo off of a Daisy. Quite nice. Draw for turn. Get into Aladdin. Oi! I like it. Tempted to do Fishbone on a Bogo, actually. Very tempted to do that. But what we're going to do, we're going to start off by... Ooh, do I? Because if I play Bogo, I'm on 2. Fishbone another Bogo. Play Aladdin. 1 damage over to Daisy. And we've got our setups. Because I can wait on card draw. Card draw I can gladly wait on. I think that's my best play. So we're going to play a Bogo. And I haven't inked this turn, but I don't think I'm going to. We're going to Fishbone the other Bogo. Then we're going to play Aladdin. Deal 1 damage to the Daisy. And that's how we lay down the thread, right? I'm not going to play Porpsicle. I'm not going to ink either of these, because we're doing fine with ink anyway. But now we've set up a threat. If our opponent quests with Daisy next turn, we can get rid of Daisy with Aladdin. Unless you do that. Well, we can still get rid of Daisy. We now have to throw both Bogo and Aladdin at it. Or we could just play another Floodborn character, such as Aurora. Perfect. And with Aurora out on the board, that now means our other characters gain ward. So our opponent will struggle. Right. I think I can actually want inking a Porpsicle here. And then what we will do, we'll actually... Let me see, go to 4. I'll still need to use Fishbone at some point. Which is fine. We'll play Flaversham, we'll get rid of Fortisphere, draw 2. Wow! That's way better than I thought. I thought I was going to have to ink something, but... Getting Jafar? I think maybe playing Aurora is still the best call, in fairness. So I'm actually going to use Fishbone. We will ink... We're actually going to ink how far I'll go. And we'll play out the Aurora. 1 damage to both of the characters. All of our characters have ward. Challenge for Daisy with Aladdin. Daisy's gone. We benefited a lot off of Daisy. Daisy's now no longer a threat, off the board, and because Rapunzel has such low attack value, we're just going to quest 4-2 with Bogo. And set up our own game plan. What a play. What a play. Rapunzel's going to sing Storm. That's got to hit Aurora. Yep, she's the only viable target. This is why playing Aurora was really handy. Because now if our opponent does play any songs like that, it has to target our boys. Storm Rage on, that's fine. Wow, you got rid of a Grab Your Sword and a Strength. That's a big hit for Amber Steel. That's 2 songs gone. And we get... Whoa! Oh, no! I think we have a beautiful board here. And P, let's go! This is mad. This is mad. Okay, we're going to ink a Flavisham. We just don't need to. This is a bit mental. Okay. Okay, hear me out. I'm going to Popsicle first, draw a card. Then I'm going to use Popsicle on Aurora, heal Aurora for 2. Because I don't need to draw more cards off of Flavisham at the moment. I'm fine with that. Then, what we're going to do, we're going to play Tinkerbell, and see what I mean. 1 damage to both of them off of the effect of Tink, 1 damage to both of them off of the effect of BOGO. Cinderella's already gone, she's on 3. I can just trade in with Aladdin, you're gone again. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And we'll do just that. We'll Aladdin into Rapunzel. Rapunzel's gone, you're not questing for 2 next turn, which is fine and dandy. And then we play Pete to effectively just shut down our opponent. You're not doing a lot. We're going to quest for 5. Yes, we are going to quest for Flavisham. And we're also going to get rid of a Fishbone we have out and draw 2 extra cards. Whoa. Here we go. Here we go. The deck is online. We are catching up. We have full control of the board. Our opponent does have a hand of cards. There's Lawrence. Oh, there's... Oh, no? No trigger off of Naveen. But what synergy that is. Lawrence and Naveen, same movie. Extra points. Booty bonus points. Okay. I think what we do here is we sing How Far I'll Go with Flavisham. Because we might as well. And we'll see what we get. Oh, Robin Hood and a Jafar. Perfect. I probably want the Robin Hood. And we'll ink the Jafar, go to 10. Now, this is interesting. We can deal more damage to the board, which is probably what we want to do. So I want to play out the Robin Hood, deal 1 damage to both of them. So now Lawrence doesn't have his +4, he's down to a 0-4 again. And then we'll play out a second Aurora. So now both of our Auroras also have Ward, effectively shutting down any pinpoint removal our opponent has. Beautiful. And we haven't inked this turn, so what I'll do then, we're going to ink a Fishbone Quill, play out a Popsicle, draw a card, get the Grabby Sword. Perfect. And that's actually cracked, because now we can sing Grab Your Sword, probably with Tink, doesn't matter which one, sing it, and now we fully control the board again by getting rid of both Lawrence and Naveen. Perfect. That was crazy good. Absolute mad lads over here. I'm tempted to just use... Now, there's no point in using Popsicle yet, because with double Ward out, this is now going to make it really, really cool. I won't banish the Popsicle, I don't need to draw cards. And yeah, that'll do. 15! 15! Oh no, scary Robin Hood, whatever shall I do with my quest for game? Can we do anything great? Yes. Play out Jafar, deal 1 damage, go! And then we'll just quest with everybody. Or as many as we want. Quest with Robin, and 1 more with Pete. There you go. Our opponent has a full board of nearly songs in their hand, but that was... Now you know why I enjoy this deck. It's really fun. But let's not jump to conclusions. It's a fun deck, but that could have been... That could have just been incredibly lucky. Let's test it again. This is an incredibly good hand. We'll get rid of both of those, and I think we'll keep the rest of the hand. Just with... Wow, double Tipo and a Porp. Beautiful. Beautiful. I will ink the Aladdin, and we're going to immediately play our Popsicle and draw a card. Done. And we draw into a Grabby Sword. Not essential for this early on, but handy to have. Now what's my opponent going to do? No 1-drops. No 1-drops. What? No 1-drops. Okay, I can just play at my own pace now. We're going to ink Cogsworth. We'll actually play the Tipo. Ink for grab your sword because we don't need it. And now we're on 3. Next turn we can Fishbone. I'm praying for Flaversham. If I can get... No? Have you just got a handful of songs you can't play with? Oh no! Is my opponent screwed? My opponent may be screwed. Ugh. This is a tough one. This is an actual tough one. I need to be fair to myself. I could Fishbone, but I don't have Flaversham to take advantage, so it's a bit risky. But it does get our ramp up, and I'd like a good bit of ramp. So let's ink the second Tipo. Let's play the Fishbone. We're going to play a bit risky. We're going to ink as a result of that. We'll actually ink for Fortisphere, and we'll play out Smee, so we can now play a little bit of an aggro game with our opponent. Quest for 1. I have a Storm in my hand for extra card draw if my opponent plays anything interesting. And I'm ready just in case for a whole new world. That is Lawrence, perfect. I can deal 2 damage to Lawrence, get Lawrence off of the board. Well, at least deal damage to Lawrence so that he's no longer a threat. Or I can use How Far I Go. Do we play more risky? I'm tempted to. Because you could just quest for 2. That's fine. I can ramp. I can ramp. Do I do it? Oh, but I kind of want to... Oh, tough. You know what, Storm? Screw it. We're going to go for it. Bogo and Aurora. Okay. We're going to go Bogo. And this is such an interesting game. Right. Quest with both boys. Go up to 4. So we're threatening already. This is a lot of risk. I would not risk this if if this was IRL. I probably wouldn't risk this anyway. But okay. Oh, there you go. There's a trade. Also say a smacking into Smee. That's fine. Wah! There's Rapunzel. For card draw. It's mad. Fair play. Ambersteel Song knows how to Ambersteel Song. That is a Cusco. That can help me? But at the same time, I think I actually benefit more if I ink Cusco, play Bogo, and then raw play Let the Storm Rage On, and deal 2 damage. Deal 2 damage to Lawrence, so Lawrence doesn't do any damage anymore. And I get How Far I'll Go for next turn. That's fine. I can sing that with Bogo next turn. Quest with Tipo, go to 5. This is so risky. Oh man, I do not like having this lack of card. Double Rapunzel! How much card draw do you need? Did you struggle that hard? Oh, there's a Storm, hits Tipo, okay. More card draw. I wish I had a whole new world right now, just so I could screw you over. Wow. Lawrence and Rapunzel sitting in a tree, drawing cards, and that's for free. I guess. Okay, Daisy's on the board as well. We've got Simba. That's 1 damage to everybody. I like it. Could ramp even more of How Far I'll Go, which I'm tempted to do with Bogo and sing it. Because you can't get rid of Bogo if I do it. Wow. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Simba. I'm not going to banish an item. Deal 1 damage to absolutely everybody. So Lawrence is now offline. Everyone else is damaged in some way or form. Then we will sing How Far I'll Go with Bogo. Just so we can keep our ramp and our hand up. Maybe draw into something good. Ooh, Jafar. Jafar's good. I like Jafar. And then we'll pass. So this is oh no, here we go. And then along came Zeus, he hurled his thunderbolt. He zapped at the Bogo. Upsetting. But it was bound to happen at some point, right? Oh, hits for Porpsicle. Youch. Bye, Porpsicle. Okay, Bogo's gone. Simba's out on the board. Simba can get rid of Daisy, and can get rid of Lawrence, so that's really good actually. And I'll probably attack him a Lawrence just so we get rid of him, because attacking into a 0-4 is better than a 1-4 because Simba takes no damage. Win-win. Inks a card, plays a Smee. Now that's dangerous. That is very dangerous now for Amber Steel. What a way to catch up. Oh, but I get Pete. Okay, we have to play both. Play Jafar, play Pete. You can't play actions next turn. Challenge into Lawrence, get rid of Lawrence. And at least that's something. Do we actually lose? Oh my god, do we actually lose? Because that's 12, 14, 16, 18. We lose. No way! We actually lose. Unless our opponent sings with one of the characters instead of actually questing with everything, we lose. Wow. That's how crazy Amber Steel is. Even when we're on the back end, you let them get their board up quicker than what you can? Youch. And in fairness, this is the downside of Flood Force. If you don't have ways to draw cards and make that consistent, it hurts. Oh boy does it hurt. And you had 2 copies of A Whole New World. Thank you for the Smee, I guess. Wow. Fair play. But that's Flood Force in a nutshell, guys. Bit risky, bit of a crazy deck with a crazy tech, but, you know, it could stand up to Amber Steel's song. I like it, and I hope you guys do too. So that's the deck in a nutshell. The link to Dreamborn will be down in the description below if you want direct access, or if you want to, you can head on over to the Discord channel where this deck will also be there, and you can post up your decks. We can talk about the deck in general, changes we would make, etc. to make things better. Leave a comment down below on whether you like the idea of the deck, don't like it, what you would do to change things up, etc., because that's always good to see. And that's it. With this and Emerald Amethyst Boom Tempo, those are the 2 decks I'm looking to take to Championship. So we'll see if anything changes, and if anything does, I will keep you guys posted, probably over on my TikTok channel, where I do more of my other quirky content for Lorcana. Be sure to check that out in the description as well down there. And while you're down there, don't forget you can check out my Ko-Fi page, newly opened. Not there if you're not interested, but it is there if you are, if you want to support the page a little bit more. But you can always subscribe, comment, share, and all that fun jazz, because it's completely free, and I love it. It's great. Thank you so much for tuning into this video and enjoying the absolute mad ladder-tree that is Sapphire Steel Flood Force. Until next time, folks, stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll be seeing you then. Have a good one.